He wasn't supposed to be anyone. No famous family, no connections, no training at some elite acting school. Just a kid from New Jersey, raised by people he thought were his parents, who had no idea his entire identity was a lie. And yet, Jack Nicholson became the most nominated male actor in Oscar history. He became the Joker. He became Jack Torrance. He became the guy who made every other actor on screen look like they were standing still. This is the story of the man Hollywood couldn't ignore, no matter how hard it tried. Jack Nicholson was born April 22, 1937, in Neptune City, New Jersey. He grew up in a modest house with his grandmother Ethel, a hairdresser, and his grandfather John. They told him they were his parents. They told him June, the teenage girl in the house, was his older sister. It was a complete fabrication. June was his mother, 17 years old when she had him, too young, too scared, too alone to raise a child herself. So the family built a story, and everyone kept it for decades. Jack didn't find out until 1974. A Time magazine journalist tracked down the truth and told him. By then, his mother June had already died of cancer 11 years earlier, without ever telling him herself. He was 37 years old, already famous, already nominated for an Oscar. And the woman he thought was his sister had actually given birth to him. Most men would have been destroyed by that. Jack wasn't. He said, and this tells you everything about him, it's a pretty dramatic event, but it wasn't what I'd call traumatizing. That's the Jack Nicholson formula right there. Take the thing that should break you and use it as fuel. At 13, Jack moved to California. He got a job at MGM's cartoon department, working under the guys who made Tom and Jerry. William Hanna himself offered him a full-time animation job. Jack said no. He wanted to act. He was certain of it. The problem was, nobody else was certain of him. For 10 years, he scratched around the bottom of Hollywood. Low-budget horror films, forgettable TV appearances, Roger Corman cheapies that nobody saw, films with titles like The Crybaby Killer and Too Soon to Love. He was so close to giving up that he started writing screenplays instead. Directing. Finding any way to stay in the industry because acting itself wasn't working. Then in 1969, everything changed. The film was Easy Rider. The original actor dropped out. Jack stepped in. He played George Hanson, an alcoholic, idealistic lawyer who joins two bikers on a cross-country ride through America. The film cost $400,000. It made $60 million. And the guy who'd been invisible for a decade suddenly had an Oscar nomination. The lesson: sometimes the door doesn't open for 10 years, and the people who walk through it are the ones who are still standing when it finally did. What followed was the most remarkable run in Hollywood history. 5 Easy Pieces in 1970, Chinatown in 1974, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975, The Shining in 1980, Terms of Endearment in 1983, Batman in 1989. Every single one of those films is a masterpiece, and Jack is the best thing in every single one of them. Cuckoo's Nest won him his first Oscar. He played Randall McMurphy, a man who fakes insanity to escape a prison work farm and ends up leading a rebellion inside a psychiatric ward. Director Milos Forman let him improvise. The result was raw, electric, and completely alive. Chinatown was different, colder, more controlled. Roger Ebert said he stepped into Bogart's shoes, a man who had seen it all and was still capable of being wickedly amused. Jack was 37. It may be the greatest performance of his career. Then came The Shining. Stanley Kubrick was the most demanding director alive. He'd shoot scenes 50, 60, sometimes 100 times. Actors broke down. Kubrick didn't care. Jack thrived. He improvised Here's Johnny. He shot the bathroom door scene 35 times. He ate cheese sandwiches and read comic books between takes, and then came back and terrified everyone in the room. When Batman came out in 1989, Jack negotiated a percentage of the gross instead of a flat salary. He made somewhere between $60 and $90 million. From a single film, that's not luck. That's a man who understood exactly what he was worth and refused to accept anything less. Here's the part they don't put in the highlight reels. Jack Nicholson had 6 children by 5 different women. His longest relationship, with actress Angelica Houston, lasted 17 years and ended when it came out He'd fathered a child with someone else. In 1994, he got out of his car at a red light and beat a Mercedes-Benz with a golf club. He settled for $500,000. Roman Polanski was arrested at Jack's house in 1977 for the assault of a 13-year-old girl. Jack wasn't home, but his house was the location. His name was in every headline. He wasn't a saint. He never pretended to be. And that's almost the point. Hollywood is full of actors who manufacture an image, carefully controlled, PR polished, relentlessly inoffensive. Jack was never that. He was chaotic, contradictory, excessive, and completely brutally real. His last film was 2010, a romantic comedy called How Do You Know? It bombed, critics hated it, audiences didn't show up, and Jack Nicholson just stopped. No retirement announcement, no farewell tour, no final Oscar speech. He just disappeared from screens and never came back. Here's what 12 Oscar nominations, 3 wins, and 5 decades in Hollywood actually look like. A kid who didn't know who his mother was. A man who failed for 10 years before anyone noticed him. An actor who became the best in the world and then chose silence over a graceful exit. Jack Nicholson didn't play by the rules because he didn't need to. He earned the right to be exactly who he was, messy, brilliant, uncontrollable, and completely alive. There's a reason every serious actor who came after him, DiCaprio, Cruise, Penn, cites him as the benchmark. Not because he was perfect, because he was real, and in a business built entirely on illusion, that's the rarest thing of all.
If you like this video, please consider to like it and subscribe to our channel, and it will help us to create more content like this. Thank you.